Day one of NFL free agency is in the books. And I don't think Dallas Cowboys fans are very happy with the books. Mike Fisher reporting from Frisco, home of the Dallas Cowboys, from the Fish Tank, Fish Bowl, Frisco. We're going to walk through day one, item by item by item, as it relates to the Cowboys and beyond. We're going to preface all this with a couple things that I want you to think about. One, how does anybody know what the right way is? And two, why are we so disappointed to be given exactly what they told us, I told you, we'd be given? All right, here we go. So, item number one. This is kind of a reverse Christmas around here. This is supposed to be Christmas in March, NFL free agency. It's supposed to be exciting, presents under the tree, etc. The way the Cowboys do it, of course, is comp pick heavy. That's the strategy. And so you don't get many presents under the tree until second and third tier shopping, at which point you buy somebody on a 1-year deal, at which point they leave a year from now, and then you get your gift in terms of a comp pick. And I will absolutely say that the Cowboys have figured that part of this system out. Now, that doesn't mean it's the best system, which we'll get to in a minute. The best system is one that wins, and we'll get to that. But the two great examples of this, most recently, the Cowboys acquire Robert Quinn, pay him $6 million, pretty cheap for a former defensive player of the year. He gets 11 and a half sacks, and then they let him go, and they get a compensatory pick. That's because they recognized that Robert Quinn wasn't going to get 11 sacks again, and that he had become a $15 million player, which is what he got from the Bears. And it would not be fiscally wise to pay Robert Quinn $15 million a year. They bought low, sold high, got a comp pick. Just in terms of making the strategy work, that's obviously sound. The other one, our old friend Jeremy Parnell, this goes back 5 years now, right, or so, and he played a little bit in the Cowboys offensive line. When he played a little bit, he did just fine. Jacksonville, having a tough time at that time trying to get anybody to come there, overpays backup offensive lineman Jeremy Parnell to come to the Jaguars. Cowboys get a 4th-round compensatory pick for him, which the next year they use to select Dak Prescott. That's a great use of the system. Good for you, Cowboys. They'll get comp picks now in the future because Cam Irving is gone. They'll get comp picks in the future because Joe Thomas is gone. Presumably, those guys will, they got their pay, then we'll see how they play, and then the comp pick comes. That understanding of the comp pick system, the Cowboys have down to a science. But, item two, that doesn't mean the Cowboys' philosophy is the right philosophy. They want to sign their own cheap guys. They want to get younger and better. They said they had money earmarked, and now we understand the money's earmarked for Cedric Wilson and Antoine Woods and Noah Brown and a new long snapper. Goodbye to LP at age 40. Been here half his life. And under Bones Fossil, the special teams coach, they're making a change at long snapper. So don't spend big. Don't overspend. Let the other teams make the mistake. But wait a minute. And look how smart we are. How do you know that's the best way? When I just on day one saw the Houston Texans, with a general manager who's a Belichick disciple, sign 10 guys, agree to sign. 10 guys. There was 44 agreements on Monday. 1/4 of them happened in Houston, overturning a bad roster. So are they dumb? They signed 10 guys. And you basically signed 0. They also made 2 trades over the weekend. You made 0 trades. So are you smarter than they are? Okay, if you want to make fun of Houston, fine, let's go to New England. New England signed, in addition to Cam Newton, signed 4 big money guys on Monday, including a premier pass rusher and the tight end Jonnu Smith, 2 stars. Now, also mixed in there, they signed the Eagles cornerback, the Green Goblin, and paid him $6 million a year. I don't think that's a very good value. I don't think it's a very good bargain. But I'm going to tell Bill Belichick he's stupid. So let's be careful when we applaud the Cowboys for being so smart, because they're doing the exact opposite thing of Bill Belichick, which means Bill Belichick must be dumb. Item. There are, in short, 32 different ways to skin the cat. I say it all the time to you, and I think people are starting to I hope people are starting to catch on now. 22,000 of us, I think, have caught on. These judgments cannot be made in a vacuum. There is no right. There is no wrong. If a team has a lot of cap space and can't get players to come there, they're going to be big spenders, probably. If an owner is cash-strapped, not cap-strapped, but cash-strapped or cheap, he's not going to be a big spender, as a Jones could be, for instance. What if all 4 of the guys who sign your team are all clients of the same agent, Drew Rosenhaus, which is what the Patriots did? That's real life. That's not in a vacuum. 32 different ways to skin the cat. There is no right. The Cowboys aren't right, nor are they wrong. The Cowboys aren't losers, nor are they winners. There is no loser on day one. There is no winner on day one, except for the Christmas presents under the tree, which would make New England and Houston the 2 winners. Item 4, Falcons friends. We've talked to you a lot about the safety Keanu Neal. The safety Kazi is also in Atlanta as a free agent. Ricardo Allen, the cornerback, in Atlanta as a free agent. Surely Dan Quinn is at the Star saying, I like him, I like him, I like him. I know them, I trust them. But the Falcons did stink last year, didn't they? In the secondary? Like, as bad as the Cowboys? So, familiarity sometimes breeds contempt, and sometimes it should. We'll see about Falcons friends rolling in here in the coming days. Item 5. I brought up the idea of Casey Hayward, the former Pro Bowl cornerback, quality guy, McCarthy guy, Joe Witt guy. And Brian Broaddus says, heads up, check out if he can still run. And meaning, does he have sprinter speed? The Cowboys' other cornerback, as we've told you here, with Diggs on one side, Cowboys' other cornerback, they're going to look for a sprinter. And Casey Hayward at 31 might no longer be that. Item 6. Fitz to Washington. Dalton might get a job today. Alex Smith, would you take him as a Cowboys backup quarterback? Dalton is in conversation to leave. Good for him. Couldn't happen to a better guy. Dak Prescott is an admirer of Alex Smith. And Alex Smith has an old school tie with Mike McCarthy. They came up together. Interesting. And I will add this about Fitzpatrick. Washington just got better. And they didn't spend I think that's a 1-year, $10 million deal. They didn't spend a fortune to get better. They're better than they were a year ago. Now, that's not the same as going and getting Deshaun Watson, but Washington is better than they were 2 days ago because they have a capable playmaking, even mobile at age 38, something that Alex Smith is not, new quarterback in Fitzmagic. Item 7, Jalen Mills, that's the Green Goblin. He gets $6 million a year from New England. I'm not questioning Belichick. I'm just saying, if Jalen Mills is going to get $6 million a year, then Cheeto and Jordan are also going to get paid. Item 8, Cowboy culture problem. The Morning News says there's a culture problem. NFL Network says the culture's great. It depends who you ask. If you ask Tank Lawrence if there's a culture problem with the Cowboys defense, he'll want to punch you in the face. He'll have no idea what you're talking about. If you go to Cowboys losing teams that had Witten on them and said, oh, that team lacks leadership, Jason Witten would want to punch you in the face. What are you talking about? The only thing we know is whether you win 10 games or not. If you don't win enough games, your culture isn't good enough. If you don't win enough games, your attitude isn't good enough. If you're not winning enough games, you're not lifting enough of them their weights. It's bottom line business. It's not about judging philosophies now. Everybody seems to have their vote, and it depends on who their source is in the building. And whatever the source in the building says about the culture, that's what we write. The Cowboys, some years, had 11 game winners, and they had Witten on their team, and Sean Lee on their team, and Dez, and Zach Martin, leaders. And then sometimes that same exact group won 4 games. Item 9. I fall into this trap. You probably do too. We tend to say, get a guy that we've heard of. Malik Hooker is a guy we've heard of, safety. He was a premium draft pick. I believe the Cowboys liked him out of the draft. But am I bringing up Malik Hooker because I've watched film on him, or because I'm familiar with him? That's a trap that we should all be careful of. Item 10. Just like with Dalvin Tomlinson, who I think just now is doing his deal moving from the Giants to Minnesota. That's an $11 million a year defensive tackle. It seems pricey. But you know what seems really pricey? Aaron Jones re-signing for big money in Green Bay. I thought you don't pay running backs. Again, the philosophy of don't pay running backs, Ezekiel Elliott, is in a vacuum. It's not real. It's not real life. They've got really good reasons for paying Aaron Jones, even though they just drafted A.J. Dillon. And one of them probably is to keep the quarterback happy. Just like Dallas signed Zeke. That it's not a bad contract yet. If they never win, it'll be a bad contract. But you were there, remember? Were you really just going to tell Zeke, you know what, stay in Cabo? Screw you. The owner thought that he was an important piece to trying to compete for a Super Bowl that year. And the other Cowboy players thought it too. So I know you're supposed to run it like a business and if, you know, just go right down the line financially. I get that fiscal responsibility. But the reality is these decisions are not made in a vacuum. These are humans. And this guy's friends with that guy, and this guy has chemistry, and this guy gives us all that stuff. All that stuff counts. And not until we get through the crap of is there a right way or a wrong way, not until we get to the crap of is there a winner and a loser, and recognize in the end, just like the Dak contract, if the Cowboys compete for Super Bowls, the Dak contract is fine. If the Cowboys compete for Super Bowls, the Ezekiel Elliott contract is not an albatross. If the Cowboys compete for Super Bowls, Mike McCarthy was a good hire. If they don't compete for Super Bowls, fish out.